What's going on, Bree? How you feeling?
What up, my boy? I'm feeling great in yourself.
I'm good. I'm good. It's been a little minute since we could catch up, but of course we've been talking offline, and saw
Absolutely.
that you've been doing a range of things, been doing your classes, just enriching your personal life. So I just wanted to ask you some
Absolutely.
questions. You know, with everything that you do in school and with dealing with your family, how do you sometimes deal with like negative feedback or comments or criticism on your actions?
Ooh. Um, the first answer that comes to would internalize it
Mm,
and feel bad about myself and cry about it and put all these limiting beliefs on myself. But now with therapy and a 12 step program, I'm learning ways to affirm myself. Journaling helps me. Someone taught me the idea of like, say if I'm mad at you, right? Instead of me coming to you with my spiciness, I can just write you a letter. Don't send it to you, but just write it, get my frustrations off, and yeah, let it go. So I think the answer would be I use tools like journaling and writing letters to get my thoughts off because I mean, also boundaries. Let me say that because that is a tool.
yes,
Um
it is.
because criticism, I don't know, I'm just really a sensitive person. So
Me too. And it could be an Aries thing. I don't even
yeah,
care.
I'm really sensitive, so I have to make sure that it's not me being sensitive or it's yeah, just a person just overstepping and placing projections on me that are not true.
You
Yeah.
really touched on some stuff. Like it made me think. Like it's probably like 2 points, but I'm gonna just try to go with
Mhm.
one. Like I've noticed when I start doing stuff because I'm real sensitive about what I do at work and creatively. I've
Same.
been having this
Absolutely.
issue at I was texting you earlier about. I said I was in a meeting and I had to present some information. And I love us, but there's a older black woman there who has very strong opinions about everything.
Oh,
I
talk
just
about it.
I
The
always
elders, the black elders, talk about
man,
it.
I always seem to be on her radar for to check in to see how things get to be done, and it always needs to be done immediately and to the degree that it needs to be done, even though it hadn't been done by others to that degree. It needs to be me. But what I've started trying to tell myself to do when I get the criticism, because I'm sensitive to the point where I be trying to like give people that energy. I have to sometimes remind myself that you can't be perfect. And even if you're right, people have to sometimes
Yeah,
present that they are contributing by telling you things
for
because
sure.
it's like that dynamic. If you start winning too much, then just people gonna just start hating you. But if you
Right.
show that you can take criticism, people will tend to like to deal with you more, even if you don't want to hear it.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just have to play that game.
Sometimes what helps me too is speaking out loud because again, my familiar is to internalize it, feel sorry, and play what was me and victimize myself. But sometimes now I'll just say like that's either a projection or don't take it personal. I say it out loud to myself. If someone's like telling me how they feel and it's just it might not be what I want to hear, but it's feedback or criticism, I tell myself like don't take it personal, don't take it personal, and to pause and breathe. That's been helping me learning how to take criticism, but it is challenging because I'm still a human being. But
No, and
I'm just all for solution now. I don't want to victimize myself. So
no, I agree with that because I do some of the same things. Like I know one of the things I've been doing lately when people say things, I have to go through that question. And I saw something yesterday. It was this new book I picked up. It was called
mhm.
Career Warfare. And
Mm,
it basically said one thing. It was saying a lot of our issues come down to this psychological thing called like uh it's called fundamental attribution. But in other words, like we take what people do on the outside as a reflection of who they are pretty much. So
absolutely.
somebody will say, yo, Sam, this, and I'd be like, in my head, I'd be like, so you are this type of person. That's why I don't like you. And I have to now go through the thing of like, okay, what is it about they said what they said they got you so upset? Is it because it's true? Is it this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Because it can be criticism where you're like, "Oh, that's a projection," but sometimes what people say can trigger you because it might be true. It might
Exactly.
be something of like, somebody could be like, "Hey, you know what? Bree, you're gossiping." And I'm like, "Oh, why would you say that?" But it's like, "Oh, I know I'm mad because it's true." and that's just the trigger is of work that I need to do. So it could be, it could be a sort of things, but as far as criticism, I just think as a child, for
Mm,
sure,
mm.
children need affirmations. I ain't got no children, so for people who got children, I'm not telling you how to raise your children, but I'm suggesting affirm your children. When I see parents like literally yelling or cussing their children out for the simplest things, that put fear in me. It don't make me feel safe either. And
Exactly.
people think, oh, you're just a child, it's a child's place. But people grow up to then fear these same people.
And that was something I was explaining to my fiance because she has a rule of like we don't yell. You know,
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
uh,
yelling is a scares me. Absolutely.
it scares and
Yeah.
just because just use your words. She don't yell at me, so I don't.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
But what it made me think of was just in that same vein. People are like, why do you have such like latent aggression? I'm like, well, you got to think when you don't affirm kids or allow them to like speak, they just
Hmm.
internalize it, and it's gonna come out at some point.
Absolutely.
And you don't teach people how to like properly handle their emotions. And that's the problem we got with a lot of brothers. Just to be real,
Don't
is
know how to handle emotions.
you just don't know how to handle emotion. Like even in embarrassment, sometimes like you have to learn sometimes how to laugh at yourself. Sometimes you just
Humility,
have to
yeah.
learn to, and I think like a lot of the toughest dudes I know, it's like, bro, you got to sometimes be able to just be the butt of a joke and just be able to be like, I got it, and just let it go
Yeah.
instead of just trying to be on some tough rah rah.
Ego and tough rah rah, yeah. I think a lot of that with the tough rah rah is just, I just really feel like if you could just walk up to him and give him a hug, it'll stop a lot of the things that don't even need to occur. Because say you it's it's our body, it's the energy, it's the anger. When the anger first happens, it's like
You're
you're
not.
not thinking. But if you really, I truly believe, if you really take a pause to really think, it really can save a lot of situations from going from 0 to 100.
It
But in
can.
the moment, you're not thinking, you just like, what can I do now? I got to prove myself that they got the wrong one. I'm not the one or the two.
That's true because it's the ego is hurt,
Yep.
and it made me think about like I tell people to this day I still never forget when Maya Angelou was talking about when she was on the set of Poetic Justice, and
Hmm.
Tupac had got into it with one of the dudes on the set, and
Mm.
Pac was cussing the dude out, and she just walked over to him and talked to him and gave him a hug, and he started crying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, some people just need you to say, "Are you okay? What are you feeling? What are your feelings?" I have a lady that's a colleague, and she made me start thinking like, "How are you feeling today?" And I would say, "Okay." She said, "That's not a feeling." So she told me to print the feeling wheel off, and now I look at it like I'm 5 years old and say what I'm feeling, because some people just want you to ask, "How you feeling? Are you okay? Do you need a hug?"
No, that's
We're
real.
grown babies in a
We are.
way. If
We
we
are.
don't heal, we are grown babies walking around.
And you know what I found? We're all really still children. We just the
Yes.
veneer, we have to put on that veneer of maturity. But all of
Yeah.
us really want a lot of like when you get to the heart of what a lot of men and women want, women are like, I'm not your mom. It's not really the
Yeah.
mom part of it as much as
You
the
want nurture.
you just want to be
You want
nurtured.
love. You
And
want touch. You want feel.
and
Yeah.
the same
But
with
women
women.
want that emotion.
Exactly. The same with
They
women
do.
because when I see healthy dad relationships with daughters, it's really the same thing.
Yeah.
It's your dad's not making you feel uncomfortable about being in your
Yeah.
feelings or emotional. He's saying use your words.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you need healthy exchanges like that. Like in these are generalizations, but women want to
Yeah.
feel safe emotionally as
For
much as
sure.
physically. They want to know, okay, I messed up. If I tell him, I'm not gonna have to worry about this going crazy, or
Right.
can he explain what's
Right.
going on?
Because
And
that's the first man you meet.
that's
If
it.
you meet him, that's the first one. That's the first example.
And see, we got a lot of issues in our community, not just of them not being there, but them not being in the right place mentally and emotionally
Emotionally
to
available, for
give you
sure. For
emotionally.
sure. Because I think also, this is generalization as well. I think it's different. Like, some men think they're showing up as, I pay all the bills and I make sure you got food and everything. So what's the problem? But it's like, yeah, it would be nice if you say, "Hey, I love you," and give me a hug.
I was having this convo with my fiance. She was just like, "Your dad don't say he love you." I was like, "My dad has never said that." I was like,
Wow. When I
uh,
hear guys say that, it baffles me. But as a child, I didn't get that. But now it just baffles me.
but that's not his thing. As much as I
Wow.
got my sense of words from him, his thing is, and I think a lot of men, if they have dads, they'll tell you if your dad say that's all right or okay, I see
Mm.
you. That's like, damn,
Oh,
daddy love me. That's what the equivalent
yeah.
is. Now my mom is very much, I love you, I'm so proud of you. My dad would be like,
Yeah.
okay, I see it, not bad. And then he might be proud as
Oh,
hell inside, but he just ain't gonna say
yeah.
that. But you know, that
Wow.
also, I see one of my homies who got kids and he kisses his son, he said, I love you. I be like,
Absolutely.
that's love, man. I want to do that when I have kids, God willing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, if I were to have a family, whatever that looks like, definitely I will affirm my kids and have create a healthy environment for them and just love on them. That's what children need.
They do.
And then also the self-expression. Like don't hinder that. Do not hinder that.
And
Because
see,
it just becomes an adult resentment of like, well, why couldn't I go swimming and do art classes when I wanted to, mom? And it's like, just let the child swim.
and I think that's the big thing people gotta understand. I think our generation gets it. These kids gotta be who they gotta be with their own
Right.
dynamics. They're not gonna think like how we think because it's not the same
Right.
world.
And they
Our,
can't live your dream. Stop it. I don't, this is going in this going a little to the right, but I'm gonna hit the
keep it
right real
real.
quick and get back on the highway.
Keep it real.
I cannot with the my child goes viral and now I'm gonna pimp them forever on the internet. I can't do it. I know it's nasty. It's
It
nasty.
is. Because you gotta think
And
about
what's
what their
even
life is
nastier
gonna
is
be
seeing
like.
adults hype it and you're following children. They're children.
Yeah. But that speaks to our society. And like here's the thing. I'm not knocking people who post pictures of their kids in general if that's what you choose to do.
No, but having them around other people in the industry that are
Yeah,
adults,
I'm not
like,
doing that. I'm
what
not
are we
doing that.
doing? Do you want this or does your child want this?
They're too young to really. I ain't gonna say they're too young to know what they really want, but
Yeah, because
very
they're
rarely.
kids.
That's it. Very rarely do they get what this is gonna mean for them for the rest of their lives. Like we look at a lot of child stars and
Right.
how they grow up with like this complex because they want to just have what regular kids have, but they've
Mm-hmm.
been canonized on the internet, on TV, and they
Mm-hmm.
didn't really sign up for it. And
At all.
I think
Like I gotta keep it a buck. There's this one kid ever since I think George Floyd happened and he was singing. And now it's just like they gotta stop sweet chariotting this guy, man. Like I saw a recent one with him and his hands up, walking up and down
they
the
done
house
pimp.
crying. I'm like, what is happening?
I
They
ain't gonna
done
lie.
made him into
That should be criminal
sweet
because
little sweet chariot every week. And I'm like, this is nasty.
that I'm not gonna lie. With that little case, that's criminal, man. How they using that boy, and I'm standing just like
Yes.
that. They gotta let that boy. Cause
Recorded crying with his hands up and the parent in the background. I'm like, yo,
cause,
if y'all want to retire or pay for your house off, just say that.
but you know what's funny? But what's crazy is when he gets old enough to
Yeah.
really think about it, how
Yeah.
is he going to feel then? Like, and I think
Right.
that's the part about recognizing kids' autonomy, and people get upset by that. But your kids gonna have to eventually, they gotta choose who they want to be. And
Right.
even if they choose to not be successful in your eyes, that's their choice.
Yeah.
If they choose to say, I don't want to get a 9 to 5, or I want to
Oh,
do something creative, or if you're creative and they say, I'm gonna go into being a statistician. I don't want to play an instrument, I don't
right.
want to play sports. You gotta be like, that's what they choose. That's my kid. I'm
The
rocking
little girl in me is like, yes, thank you for saying that. Absolutely, because it's like It also goes in just believing yourself and turning even the noise of criticism of friends and family. Like you, so many times I wanted to just create, and I was like, no, we gotta get a 9 to 5. No, we gotta do this. No, you gotta do this because this is what society is. If I knew what the internet was now, like I would have
Oh
just
my
did a digital.
God.
I would have continued doing the digital creator for free back in 07.
Yes.
03. I was doing the blogs back 03 in high school because it was just something to do. I was overseas. So it's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta get over that. That I am getting over that, but that does come up still for me of just like, do what you do
I'm glad
because
you mentioned that though, because like I want to tell you about an incident. So I spoke with some family friends, and they have a daughter. She's about to finish college, and she's getting her
mhm,
degree in like film. And her
mhm,
parents are uber successful in like
nice.
education, and they do well for themselves. They kind of want her to go in the same realm, and she's like,
Oh,
"Well, I'm the odd kid," and I was like, "You're not odd." I was like, "Own the thing that you do well." I
yeah,
said, because if I knew what I knew now, I would have just
man.
doubled down on it at 21. I said I would have hit
Yep.
ready.
People paying for weird. Just be that. Just
And
be
I
the creator.
and I told her, I said, "You
Yep.
like to video edit for fun."
Yes.
I said, that's something people will pay bread for. I said, do not
Bread.
listen to nobody. I said, you could take the next 10 years, devote it to that. And even if you don't make it, you still got the
Did it.
next 40
You
years of
did
your
it.
life.
Yep. You did it because you wanted to do it.
And I
Because that's what ends up happening. You get older and then you're like, I should have did this. I should have did that. So now me at 32 is like, I'm doing this.
you got
I don't
to.
know what it's gonna look like with the 9 to 5 too, but what I do know is I'm doing this.
But this is me personally. I'd rather tell my kid, you know what? I really went after it. I was juggling this. I was
Absolutely.
juggling that. It
Hmm.
didn't hit for me, but hey, I put a dent in the game. I was
Yeah.
here. People felt me. That's all I want. I told
Right.
myself sometimes when I be daydreaming, I'm like, if I never get to where I want to, and let's say I'm blessed to have children, but they look back on my old right like, Dad, you was cold. I was like, I was cold with that thing though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was there. I put out
Yeah.
a body of work while I
You
could.
will, but you will though, like, and I'm not saying that to gas you, but I've seen story after story. I just seen a lady recently. I was watching Snowfall and seeing her name, and I said, wait a minute, is that such and such from such and such? And I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, if you knew.
Yep.
I knew her journey from just following her on Black and Sexy TV. OGs know that. If you know, you know. That's
Yeah, I do.
all web creation
Wait.
early.
What girl from Black and Sexy?
I ain't gonna name drop it. I'll tell you off. But
Okay. Okay.
her journey, she literally just picked up any camera, and I mean the quality was absolutely terrible, but the storytelling was
I
on
dig it.
point.
And
I'll,
see,
I'll just say it. It's Janine Daniels. The storytelling was on point.
oh shoot,
She
yeah.
wrote an episode of Snowfall.
I didn't know. Oh, she is fucking
I
moving.
said, Janine Daniels, that sounds familiar. Is that the girl from that guy?
Yes, it is.
Black and Sexy TV? And I looked it up,
It
it was
is.
her.
She was
And
the
she
OG.
could have boasted and bragged about all that on Instagram, nothing.
And see, what's crazy is,
But see, that just shows you, like, I mean, she stuck to it and
yeah,
all the things that she dealt with, like, literally stuff. It was like, girl, I would have been gave up. So that I just
exactly,
say that to you because it's like, it's gonna happen. It's just not the way we see it, but you will definitely be on that for
exactly.
your writing, for
No, I
sure.
appreciate it, and I know you will too, because the one thing that I admire the most about you when you tell your story, you only giving me little pieces, but I'd be like, she really had the nuts to like just say, I'm going out
Yeah.
there. I'm going out. You went out
I'm
there.
going back too, by the way. But
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, we going back.
Let's
We
go.
going back, baby. Trust
Let's go.
yourself. Trust yourself, baby.
Let's go.
Breaking news. Yeah, I'm going back for
Go
sure.
out there and get it. Go out there and
For
get
sure.
that shit. Because you're
For
not
sure.
gonna feel right unless you can say, I gave it
Yes.
everything.
See, you get me because we also had the talk of like, do you go to that village, not knowing if you're welcome in that village, or do you go start the whole village? I could do both. I can go to the village, learn that village, and then take that and and help my
And,
people.
and you
So,
know, I'm gonna be real. My energy lately has been very creative because I found people on the same energy
for
I'm on.
sure,
Like my
for sure.
writing is on a certain level now because the people around me are like, nah, nah, go harder. And but ultimately,
That's
I
good.
see where they all at, and I'm like, and they say you could be here too.
Yep.
You could be further than that. Keep going. And
Yep.
I look forward to that every day because like I said, I don't know. This is just me. I just think about like the other day I saw an article. My favorite writer, Richard Wright, he dropped a book. He been dead 60 years, but they took one of his books to
Wow.
finish, and his daughter like, got them to edit it and put it out, and it was a bestseller. And it's on the
Mm.
bestsellers list. And I was like, that's my favorite author. 60 years after he died, the book is on the bestseller list again.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm trying to be like him.
Yeah, that's the beauty of being an artist. You just, I know it's cliche to say, but you don't die. You don't.
You
You all
don't?
your work always lives. But yeah, I used to be so with when you talk about criticism, I used to get so personal when I was in my writing group and it would be my turn to share my first draft and I would dread it because I'm like, oh, I gotta kill it. And then when they would compliment me, I'd be like, okay, but I was so stuck on what sucked where it was just like, all right, I'm gonna let that sit in dungeon. And I used to be so intimidated by them because it was these writers that just, they were making moves, they were getting up, they were making connections. And I think looking back, I'm so grateful that I was in that group because man, badasses. Absolutely.
But you know what?
Absolutely. I want to be around people to grow me versus I definitely want to be around people who I want to be around people who just want to grow, period. But I also think it is helpful me as a what I call a still newbie TV writer, being around people who have years in that. Instead of looking at it like I'm intimidated, I'm not worthy to be around you. No, be around them to learn because they so much game. I could tell you so much game.
I believe it. And the thing I've seen, and this is general, but I'm literally every single day I get on the internet, it's like, the goats, the people I look at like the goats, like
Mm,
I look at Issa, I'm like, damn,
yeah,
she got
Issa.
another creative vision for
Yeah.
black
We
women. I'm
putting
like,
it
damn,
out there. We gonna work with Issa.
we're
You
gonna
gonna
work
work with Issa doing something. I'm gonna work with Issa doing a show too. We putting it out there.
back,
I'm not even trying to gas us. We both
back,
working with her. Cause
back.
Issa is the real deal. I
Man,
used to take it, I used to feel away when people were like, you're the next Issa. And I'm like, don't say that. Issa is
mm-mm.
Issa, Oprah is Oprah, don't do that. But then I was like, that's actually a compliment. Issa is the GOAT.
She's the
And
goat.
she doesn't give me Hollywood politics because I do see there are some other creatives that people really like put on this pedestal, but they actually behind the scenes are on
They
some other
keep
stuff,
hating.
but I don't put that out there because it's
I
industry.
understand, respect
But
everything.
Issa, she just to me seems like the real deal and she really helps people. Like Kid Fury and Crystal has an album coming out. That was a relationship she built 10 years ago. Like she keeps everybody. It's like if she don't work with you now, she
She
still
gonna
got
work
you in
with
the
you
back
later.
of her head. And it's nothing for her to big up somebody. I just love that about her.
I'm not gonna lie. Every time she drops something, like I feel proud. Like I feel proud, like how I used to feel when like J. Cole would win. I'd be like,
Oh man,
fucking
yeah.
winning for me.
Cause
Like that's
man,
how I win.
again, just like with Janine, like seeing where Issa started on YouTube, the quality, the help, the story, she was raw and honest about like, hey, like I don't even know how we gonna do this, but we making it work. Like
I'm
she
I'm
didn't
not
make no
gonna lie.
excuse.
I miss those days of Black
Oh, it was
and Sexy.
so good.
When
Black and
we
Sexy was on point. It was like back to back to back to back to back.
like I'm not gonna lie. I
They
remember
had good. They was really giving cable a run for its money with black shows. I ain't
they
gonna hold
they
you.
were. I'm
They
not
on
gonna even
fire.
lie to you. Like I remember, first year, second year teaching or just getting out of college, not really having a lot of money, but I got that subscription, and I'd
Yep.
be sitting there eating fast food and
Yep.
with somebody different.
The
But
YouTube clips came through for me. Yeah.
they
And
did.
even even that, the guy from that guy who played, I don't know if you ever watched that guy. It was on Black and Sexy TV. Mike, who played Michael, he's doing great. Black Lightning, he was on Love Is like
Yeah,
his.
right.
That's what I'm saying. Like that took you looking at almost 10 plus years. And where he was starting at, they was just, they was acting, but it wasn't like, oh my God, look at him now. Oh, and he was on what's the show? On HBO. With the alien people, black
Oh,
people and aliens.
Lovecraft.
Yes, he was on Lovecraft too, playing the guy's father. Like It's gonna happen. But
It is.
that it gotta start with me believing in myself. Like you text me the other day, and that believing and trusting is like such a challenge for me because I think, like you said, from the criticism, I'm trying to circle it back because of the criticism and trying to unlearn that definitely. But
You know,
yeah,
I just say it to you like I was talking with my homie, like he was like, because he's got family who's very successful in like a professional setting, like and
um,
they're retired and everything. And I was like, he's like, they don't get it. I was like, bro,
they,
you got
oh my God. And you just want to, the child in you is like, I just want you to understand, please. And
mhm.
that's when I would second guess myself and say, I'll just go get a 9 to 5 then, or I'll just quit this is stupid. This doesn't make sense because everyone else doesn't get it. But that's when I should hone in and say, it ain't meant for everybody to get it
It ain't. And
at all.
and that's why like
They don't
certain
even want to get it.
they don't want to, cause but they're not everybody's built different. Like
Yeah.
it's times during the year where like I'll watch documentaries on people I like. And like I love using the Logic example. He told his homie, like, I'm gonna sleep on your couch. He's like,
Oh
one
my
year. He's
gosh.
got
That's
1
some
year.
serious faith.
That's
That's
some
some
faith.
serious faith. And probably some fear, but he walked in it, even if it came up. And shout out and for his homie to really just really be like, you know what,
I'm gonna
this
hold you
ain't
down.
even about me. I'm supporting you straight up with no expectation or attachments to it. You gotta love that. I would love to do that for a homie. Like if that was ever to happen, like stay here however long you need, man.
But that's how I know. Oh man, I'm excited. When you told me you was
All
gonna,
right.
I'm
No,
excited.
but seriously, I'm not trying to gas you. It's gonna happen because one, you're already doing the work. You've been doing the work. You're consistent. You're getting traffic. Y'all need to follow Solomon Hill Fleet, by the way, on medium.com.
That's
He
love.
has bomb articles. Don't sleep on them. They're really, really good. I tell you all the time, it's Rolling Stone worthy. And I don't tell you this stuff to gas you.
It's love. I
I
appreciate
tell
it.
you this stuff because it's true.
I appreciate it. Nah, it's love, but it's just we sometimes we look at like what we see because like it's funny.
Absolutely. Right now.
Exactly.
Me,
And
for sure, the right now. Like, I'm unemployed. I don't know what's next. Yeah. Well, I can lean in and create.
but what's next is whatever you create. You know what I'm saying? And
That's
I
environment
I'm
too.
just excited about you saying you're doing that because
Yeah, I'm going back.
I see it in my head.
I'm
I'm
going
like,
back.
damn, she gonna be
Yeah.
dapping
But
up.
I had to go through that process because I've told you, I was like, I'm letting it go. I'm done. I got to let it go. I got to move on. I'm going into the nutrition field, that I'm gonna, all these things. And then I was telling you, I don't know. I think I might have to go, down south somewhere and be around. Like, then I was like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to go back. It sounds crazy. It sounds really crazy to go back. It sounds crazy. I'm going back.
I want you to go back, and I just want you just to
This time will be different. I'm sane. I'm no longer numbing with addictions. I have people in my corner who support me, and I'm learning I don't have to listen to other people's opinions about my life. So it's different this time.
I'm happy for you to be going back. I just want you just to realize, just stay down, keep pushing, stay down. To
Thank
everybody out there, whatever you really
you.
want to do,
Now,
stay down,
yeah.
stay
Because
down.
that one time you think, oh, I literally like the life is over with me. So many people have left and gone back. It's over. Woe is me. And then I even got hard on myself. I was like, this time in the pandemic, you could have just had your head down and been getting all this stuff. But you know what? It had to happen how it had to happen.
It had to,
So
and
at first I was like, dang, if I wasn't in my head, I could have been. I'm working. I'm not online. I'm doing these scripts. But now it's like, no, I had to go through it.
and it'll come back. Anything that anything you generated, it'll come back because the pandemic was how I got the momentum I got now. I
Mm,
really was feeling stuck, and I was telling my fiance, like, I just
yes.
want to meet some new people. I kept telling her, I was like, I want some people that I can pod with, some people that I can
Mm-hmm.
talk with. I want some people I can
Mm-hmm.
write with, and God and the universe gave me all those things.
For sure.
And just, but sometimes I still had those moments. I was like, man, I started at 26. Imagine if I would have just been in
Right.
Fort Valley, started at 21, 22, just
Mm,
kept going. But it's fine.
that age thing, man. Woo. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
I might not, and I think whatever, for me, God gonna do what he gonna do. He gonna show out either way. It might
yeah.
not be what I wanted, but it's going my effort on depending on what I do will show. So it's on me and it's on him. It's on our relationship. For me, it's what I believe in. God.
It
Um,
will. And I think the minute you put something out, I'm gonna be the first person jumping up and down, like, let's go.
I appreciate
Because I
it.
know
Yeah.
where it's gonna go. So
Yeah, it's crazy because I don't know if I ever told you when I was in news. Me and my close friend Eric, shout out to Eric, love you, bro. We met in news and we were PAs, and when the Oscars would come on, we would go in the editing booth, close the door, and sit next to each other and pretend we had these Gucci outfit. Like we were just so
y'all was
doing the
tight.
most. But we were just so every year then after we left, I would text him like, hey, the Oscars on. What are you wearing tonight? What are you wearing on the red carpet? So it's just like, I'm not saying that, oh, I gotta be at the Oscars. That defines me. It's just that I don't think we have these dreams or
But
these moments or
nothing.
visions for nothing. Like again, I tried. I was telling you many times, I'm like, I'm letting TV go, I'm letting script writing go, I'm letting all that go. And every certain 2-3 months, it come back up. I'm texting my homegirl, I'm like, it came back up. She's like, you're supposed to do it. Now shut up and go do it. Because I kept saying, God, I was writing my journals. I'm not gonna do it no more. Okay, God, I trust you. I'm gonna do this. I guess I'm gonna go back to school to that. And it kept coming up.
You know what? It reminds me of
Nothing else
something.
in my life has been like that.
No,
Nothing.
that's real because it reminded me of something Les Brown said. He was like, nobody dreams and they're not the star of the dream. He's
Mm.
like, nobody ever dreams of themselves as the sidekick. And I've been trying to do that thing where you live in the emotion of how it's supposed to feel. So I be talking to myself. I ain't gonna lie, I be talking to myself.
Oh, I talk to myself all the
And
time. I
and
have
how
to
be
now to
doing
affirm myself.
nah, that's real. And
I
like
have to. I gotta affirm little Bree inside. I
nah,
got
you
to.
know,
Who's
you
gonna do it?
know.
Who's gonna do it?
Exactly. And like, my fiance caught me the other day because I was over there doing it. I
No,
was like,
that's funny.
I had to do it just like yay. I was like, everybody wanted to know. I was like, that's how I'm gonna be killing these fools. I swear I'm gonna be on that. I'll be
Uh,
like, all right, this is what I'm gonna say when I win. This is what I'm gonna think when I win. Then I'll be like, no, you're gonna be humble. You're gonna be reserved.
mm,
Then I'll be like, nah,
oh,
I'm gonna
and you
straight.
know what? And you know what? We gonna touch on that humble one day because I get the humble, but don't humble me from coming from humble beginnings. You feel me? Like,
Ah,
don't
ooh,
do
that's a
that.
bar. That's a
Don't
bar
do
right there.
that. You trying to humble me, and I come from humble beginnings. Let me get my shit off.
That's a bar right there.
Oh, don't gas me. But
Ooh, get that
yeah,
off.
but it's true. Like I get the humble. I think the humble comes with humility, but it's also like some people use it as a weapon to
They do.
weaponize you. Like, hey, you feeling yourself too much. Hey Sam, you got too many articles going on, bro. You need to stay humble. No, I'm gonna keep posting my shit, nigga.
And you know what? And I'm gonna just leave it at this. People don't understand how hard it is to get to the point to believe.
Oh my god.
They don't get it. You doubted yourself the whole time. Now you like chill out. I'm not
You
chilling
literally
out.
like da 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 pressing send da da da, and then you send it. You like, oh, can I come on? Like you have no idea what it is to say, here is my name on
Yep.
this article
Yep.
by me for everyone to judge it and criticize it and read it. You're
Yep.
welcome.
Yep. And you got to think. I didn't start earlier because I lacked the confidence to do it then. So
That's what you gotta do.
now I got
Absolutely.
abundant confidence.
Absolutely.
But that's
I'm just
all. That's
really over that myself too. Cause like I think about, and it's not to like, oh, be hard on you. It's just like you waste time for me and then more time is wasted when you continue to doubt yourself. So what are we going to do at this point? Are we going to believe in ourselves and trust ourselves on our journey, or we're going to continue to go and be a people pleaser or look for others to tell us what I wanted people to tell me what was my life so bad because I thought I was crazy as hell to think you're going to do TV writing. I wanted them to tell me so bad that this was crazy as hell and I need to go do something else, only to then remind myself that this is crazy as hell and I need to go do it.
case closed. Case closed. That's it. That's it. Nah, to the people out there listening, that's essentially what we just trying to say. Criticism You're
Mm-hmm.
gonna get criticism from everybody, but you gotta be gentle with yourself and just realize
Absolutely.
whatever you really want to do,
Keep
you
walking.
can't lose anything by doing it, but you can lose
Ooh,
everything by not doing it.
run that back.
I'm just saying.
Run it back.
You can't lose anything by going after you want, but you can lose everything not. Just saying.
It's the bars for me.
Hey, we love to get y'all thoughts on that though. Make sure y'all like Perspectives with Solomon and Bree. Make sure y'all share this video. We love to get you guys' thoughts. Thank you to everybody who's been watching this all the way through and supporting
For
it.
sure.
Much
Appreciate y'all.
love. It's just very good to us. So
Yes.
I
It's
appreciate
so
you.
great to see you, bro, and catch up, man.
I appreciate you.